for our first day at Liseberg. Amazing wooden coaster. I don't know what to say about this ride. I'm not sure why everyone keeps hating ride coasters. Oh my god, I'm tired as hell. Alright, here we are for our first day at Liseberg. Of course, to experience rides such as Valkyria and where is it? Somewhere there. Helix, of course. Are you excited about it? Bart has no idea what to expect because you don't know what rides are in this park actually. But anyway, I am very excited, of course, because I have been looking forward to this park for so many years. Most popular park in Sweden. I think it's also the biggest park in Sweden. Anyway, it houses some really amazing rides and I'm ready for it. So let's go. We're in the park. Yay! We're in Liseberg and we're going straight for maybe the best ride of the park already because we're going straight for Helix because we have a virtual queue there at 10:05. But for those who don't know Liseberg, by the way, it's a park in Sweden in Gothenburg. It's at the west side of Sweden. It's probably the most popular, the biggest park in Sweden. And it's for sure big enough for 2 days because we are spending 2 days here to experience all these rides here. Apparently the park is very beautiful and I already have that feeling. It's really like a very beautiful park with the landscaping and the theming and such, but we'll see, of course. This park is 101 years old this year, so it has quite some history. But let's get to the first ride, Helix, which is a Mack multi-launch coaster, and apparently it's one of the better coasters in Europe and maybe even in the world, but I'll let you know my opinion after the ride. Let's go there. Okay, Helix was that good that we actually entered the virtual queue right away again. So we're riding again in like 1.5 hours again. It's a really great ride. It's a really great Mack launch coaster. Bart, did you like it?
I was a great fan.
Great fan, yes. Is it better than Blue Fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. It's quite a powerful ride with a lot of inversions, a lot of airtime. It's a very long ride actually. Bart also said at the end of the ride, every moment you think, yeah, this is the end, it just keeps going. It's really amazing how good this ride is. Really a very good ride. Next one, Lisebergbanan. Anyway, we're going to do this Schwarzkopf coaster. Alright, we got a wristband. First of all, we did Lisebergbanan or the Liseberg coaster. In the queue, they actually asked us, yeah, do you have a wristband? And we were like, huh? Wristband? we have a ticket for today, but yeah, apparently you have to have like a ride wristband. I actually kind of knew about that because I booked like a park ticket and a ride pass, but I didn't knew we had we needed this wristband.
Stupid boy.
I was indeed a stupid boy. So in the queue we waited like 15 minutes and suddenly was like, oh, we don't have a wristband. But we showed our ticket and they were like, yeah, okay, you can ride, but you have to get a wristband afterwards. So we got a wristband afterwards. It's strange, by the way, because at Helix they didn't ask for the wristband, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We have it now. But Lisebergbanan, a really fun coaster actually. It's a pretty long one also, same as Helix. Seems the rides here are pretty long. Very, very different than Uppswinget, where the rides were all very short. But here Lisebergbanan was very long, and for an old coaster also a very, very smooth one actually. I was really surprised by that. It's also quite thrilling. It's still family friendly, of course. It has no inversions or anything, but the drops were kind of cool, kind of high, kind of fast. It was a really fun ride actually. I really enjoyed that one. But now, as I said, we have a virtual queue for Helix at around 12 something. So it's now 11, so we're going to do some other rides. Some rides are situated on the hill behind this thing here, where AtmosFear and Helix and Lisebergbanan and such are located. But there's also like the lower part here with rides such as Rabalder and Valkyria there. But let's just find the next ride. Alright, next one we're doing is this trail ride, Mechanica or something. It looks pretty cool, but it has a wait of 30 to 40 minutes according to the sign. But anyway, let's just wait for this one. We didn't wait 30 to 40 minutes for Mechanica, but was the ride worth it, Bart?
Okay.
It's okay. It's indeed okay. It's not bad, but it's not very, very thrilling.
Wild.
It's not too wild indeed, as Bart says. It's not too wild. It's just mediocre. It could have been more intense, and I think like fairground versions of this ride are probably much more intense than this one, but it's fairly okay. It's not the best, but I'm not sure if I'm going to ride this one several times during these 2 days, because it just felt very, very average to me. But anyway, it's still not a bad ride, of course. We're going to look for something else to do before our virtual queue for Helix again. We only have 20 minutes left, so we'll see if we'll find something that we can do in those 20 minutes. Maybe we can do Loke there, which is a gyro swing from Intamin. We really look forward to that one because the gyro swing in Summerland is the only gyro swing from Intamin I did so far, and that was really like the best gyro swing I ever did. So I really look forward to that one. Maybe we should go and find the queue for that one. Alright, Loki done the gyro swing. Really great one. It's as good as the one, of course, in Summerland. It's such a great model. The Intamin versions are really, really powerful. Also the restraints, which are very open, gives you a very free feeling. And also that combined with the airtime you have, you feel like being lifted out of your seat. it's just a really cool experience, this version. Much less scary than the Zamperla version, which we did in Tusenfrit. There I felt kind of scared with those restraints, I don't know. Here the restraints are even more free, but still I was less scared because I felt way more secure on my lap actually. But anyway, great gyro swing. Alright, so we did another ride here on Helix with the virtual queue. We actually had to run because my virtual queue was almost ending, because they have like a time slot of only 10 minutes to enter the virtual queue or to be scanned. But I was almost too late. It was actually already the time when it closed when I entered the queue. So I was kind of sweaty already because it's quite warm, and then with the running and such. Anyway, I did the ride again. I did it now in the back of the train, somewhere at the back. My first ride was in the front row. I have to admit, front row is way better. The back is fun, but it was kind of rattly actually compared to the first ride. It was, yeah, a bit of a Mac rattle, because a lot of Mac coasters have this kind of rattle, but yeah. Also funny, the guy that had to check my lap bar, he actually saw my shirt of the Ride to Happiness and was like, yeah, this ride, this Mac coaster is way better than the Ride to Happiness. And afterwards I was like, yeah, not sure. Don't get me wrong, Helix is a really a great ride for sure, but still Ride to Happiness is a bit better in my opinion. It has a bit more force, has a bit more fun factor to it with the spinning and such. But anyway, this one, great ride, a long ride, a very fun one. So I kind of agree with the operator that it's a great ride, but not better than Ride to Happiness. In the meantime, we did Uppswinget here or something like that. It's an SNS screaming swing. Actually, I really like these screaming swings. I did a big model like this already in Busch Gardens Stampa, but also in Cedar Point. Now this one was my third bigger screaming swing from SNS, but it's, in my opinion, the most boring one. Don't get me wrong, it still has quite some force and still has quite some airtime, which is fun, but it's a very short one. So it was like, okay, was that it? Bit strange, but anyway, let's get to something more thrilling. We have a virtual queue already for Luna, and so Bart had one for Luna, and I have a virtual queue for Valkyria. But that's for later. First we're going to do some other rides. Oh my god, tired as hell. We just did Aerospin, which is not a skyfly, but it's a sky tower, I think, from Gerstlauer. I'm not sure what the name is. There's also one like this in Bakken in Denmark. You really have to be quite in shape to do some spinning on this ride. I was not able to spin at all. Bart wasn't either. I'm not sure if anyone on the ride was actually. It's a very difficult one. Skyflies are much easier in my opinion. but I'm tired as hell now. It's hot and I need a drink. So let's get for some drink or something. Okay, in the meantime, we did Valkyria, the wooden coaster, and the Kållerado here, which is the rapid river ride. First of all, rapid river ride, really a good one, really a fun one. There's a lot of water effect, a lot of moments where you're not sure if you're going to get wet or not. It's a very fun one. It's also quite a fast one at some moments, about a wild one. It's just really a great one, especially on a warm day as today. Really great. At some point I suddenly got like a water spray thing that sprayed just right here and I was completely wet, but anyway, really great rapid river ride. I really enjoyed this one. But of course we also did Valkyria here behind me. Really amazing wooden coaster from Intamin. It's a prefab coaster, and it's not my first prefab coaster I did. First one I did was, I think, El Toro in Six Flags Great Adventure many years ago. That one was, of course, amazing, but this one is for sure also really great. It's a very smooth one, but because of that it doesn't really feel like a wooden coaster. It just feels very smooth. But anyway, really great layout with a lot of airtime moments, and that first drop, I was not expecting it to be that steep. It's quite a first drop, really great. So I'm definitely going to ride this one again because it's such a great one, really. But now let's get to something else because there is still a lot of rides in this park to explore. Now, despite the heat and the crowds here in the park, it's still very enjoyable. The operations are very fast. The queues are not that long, so it's really great. I'm also really enjoying the atmosphere of this park. Just the whole summery vibe here, but also the environment, the nature, the theming of the ride. It's really a very different park than Uppswinget, which we did in Oslo. The vibe in this park is like really amazing. Really loving it so far. Now we're going for the next ride. It seems like this morning AtmosFear, the drop tower, was not going to open today because the app said closed for today. But when I checked the app right now, it said that there's actually a waiting time of 20-30 minutes at this moment. So I guess the ride is open. So let's get there for our first ride on AtmosFear, which is at this moment, I believe, the second highest freefall tower in Europe. Let's do it. Alright, a bit of relaxing here in sun with a view on the first drop of Valkyria. We actually did AtmosFear in the meantime and Valkyria. AtmosFear, first of all, was a really great drop tower. It's a very high one. It's also quite funny to have those, the same restraints as on Maverick, for example, as on the Intamin coasters. I've never seen that kind of restraint on a drop tower actually. It was the first time, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change the experience of the ride. It's a very cool drop tower, a very high fall. It seems like the drop is really like endless. It's crazy, it's crazy. Then afterwards we had to actually kind of run to Valkyria. We actually had a virtual queue for Luna first between AtmosFear and Valkyria, but we were too late because the line at AtmosFear took too long, and we there was like a small delay and such. So after AtmosFear we just ran straight away to Valkyria. We were on time for Valkyria and we rode that one, and oh boy is that a great dive coaster, by the way. I've done 3 dive coasters now, which is Baron 1898 in the Efteling, Valraven at Cedar Point, but Valkyria really as good as Valraven. It's a lot shorter than Valraven, it's a lot longer than Baron 1898. But anyway, the layout of it is so great. It has so many fun moments. It's a bit like a mix between Baron 1898 and Valraven, so it's a bit short, but it has like all the cool elements that Valraven has, like the zero-G rule. There is the great drop, of course. There's some fun airtime moments. There's some fun turns and such. Really a great dive coaster for sure. But anyway, now we're going to do Luna because Bart actually secured another virtual queue. Then afterwards we're going to eat something at 1923, which is a restaurant somewhere the other side of the park, which has some barbecue kind of stuff and such. So first of all, let's do Luna, and then off to eat something. And I'm really starving here. I'm hungry. I'm tired as hell. I need some drinks because it's really crazy hot. Anyway. And in the meantime, we're sitting outside here at the restaurant 1923 here at Liseberg, with a view on the concert area here of the park. And in the background, a cool view on, of course, Helix and such. Now, we did Luna. It was a fun Vekoma boomerang coaster. It's an enjoyable layout. It's a bit short, just as every family boomerang coaster, of course. It doesn't do a lot, but for a family boomerang coaster it's actually a quite fun one. Also the location on the mountain, actually, or the hill, it's really cool. It was an enjoyable one, just enjoyable. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another ride on it in these 2 days, but anyway, it's enjoyable for sure. Okay, and after that dinner, I also went on the FlumeRide, right there, the Loke FlumeRide. I was in the front, I was quite wet. It's also a very very fun one actually, very surprising one, because you have like one quite a big drop with the splash zone, and then suddenly afterwards you would expect with any other log flume, you're going up if you have a second drop, but you went down again for the second. It was like 2 drops right after each other, which was quite surprising, but anyway, very fun drops, a very cool log flume ride. It's a bit of a short one, but it's a cool one. Also the fact that it's intertwined with like Lisebergbanan and Helix and Luna at the top of that hill there. It's really cool how they managed to build all those rides. Intertwining eeach other, really cool to see. But anyway, let's do something else, because there are actually some rides at Kaninlandet or something, which I still need to do, which is like the kids area of the park. And Bart is laughing with me. And here we are in Kaninlandet or something, which is a bunny land, rabbit land, I don't know. It's a kids area. I'm definitely not the target audience of this area, but anyway, I'm here by myself. Bart doesn't like doing kids rides, and since I'm here alone now, I should take advantage of that and do some rides. Maybe I'm going to do this junior coaster here. I got this also a great one. But anyway, this one, I'm going to ride that one now. Okay, from one kiddie coaster or Rabalder there to another. I already did this one also, the Stampbanan or something. I'm not sure what the name is. Rabalder and both this one. Not for the ride at all, of course, for an adult. Yeah, I even felt quite stupid while queuing for these rides. But anyway, I did them. I don't know what to say about these rides. They didn't provide any fun, but anyway, if I'm here, why not just try them out? Anyway, let's get to the next ride. But I'm actually not sure what the manufacturer is of Stampbanan. I think it's Semperla. It looks like a very Semperla train. But anyway, a very, very short ride. Just a little loop. That's basically it. Funny thing is, by the way, also that Rabalder, the other coaster I did, Zero one, is actually, I didn't realize until riding it, it's actually the same model as, for example, the coasters in the Plopsa indoor parks, or for example Mayaland parks in Poland. Same model, just not an indoor version but an outdoor version. And I was kind of surprised because the indoor version to me always feels like very tame, very average. This one, it's also quite tame, quite average, but still it's felt a bit more intense than the indoor versions for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway, it's just a kiddie coaster, or as some would say, a family coaster, but doesn't do a lot. Anyway, let's get to some more interesting rides again. I'm kind of thinking of maybe lining up for Helix, but I'm not sure. Okay, now change of plans. Valkyria's drop was quite loud. Anyway, change of plans. I'm not going to do Helix now. I'm going to ride Hanghai, something like that. It's a Zamperla disco ride. Nothing too crazy, but I haven't done that one yet. And for the ones that wondered, yeah, you missed the dark ride in Kaninlandet or something like that. I didn't miss it. Yeah, I missed it today. I didn't ride it today. But anyway, I'm going to ride that one tomorrow actually. Because tomorrow we're here for a second day. And I'm going to ride that one tomorrow. Today I'm going to end the day with some more re-rides on other coasters. But anyway, now we're going to do this one here. The disco from Zamperla. I'm not really that much looking forward to it because it's just a stupid disco. Anyway, let's just do it. So I did the disco ride from Zamperla and now it's time for some re-rides. But anyway, the disco, nothing too crazy actually, it's just a disco, not very spectacular. People are probably wondering then, yeah, why are you doing these kinds of rides if you don't really like them? And of course the kiddie coasters, if you already know, there's nothing to expect there. But anyway, it's a bit difficult to explain because I'm not like a credit hunter. I don't really need credits, but apart from that, if you're here in the line for those coasters is only like 0 to 10 minutes, and yeah, why not, of course. If there would be a line like 30 minutes, I wouldn't be doing that one. Like for example in Uppswinget, there was the Huri kiddie coaster. I didn't do that one because I didn't feel like waiting in line there for that stupid coaster. So missed credits, some would say, but of course there's nothing to expect on those kiddie rides. But anyway, like I said, if the line is really short, then why not just do this? But I'm not going to ride them again, and certainly not if I'm here again next time. I will not be riding those. But anyway, let's look for the next ride. Okay, I checked the lines. It's gonna be Helix. Oh, I bumped into someone here. Anyway, it's going to be a Helix as the lines only 20 to 30 minutes. So let's go. Okay, Helix, I just rode it again in the second row this time, and again it was a very rattly train actually. I even kind of hurt my back actually because of the rattle. Don't know what Mac is doing with this ride, but it's a bit rattly. So everyone telling this ride is like one of the best in Europe. It's definitely a very good coaster, definitely a fun layout. It's so rattly. It reminds me a bit of some trains of Voltron. Not really that great to have such a rattly train. But anyway, I still enjoy Helix actually. It's not, the rattle doesn't really make it bad, but I expect a bit more. Anyway, let's do a last ride of the day here on this dive coaster. Let's do Valkyria again. And with that, I did my last ride here on Valkyria. This amazing dive coaster. Really great. Now after riding it the second time, I actually had the feeling like, okay, this first drop of this ride, it's maybe not as high as Valraven and Cedar Point, but it feels so much more intense actually, or maybe that's just because I already forgot quite some of the ride, but it feels way more intense. It's a very intense drop. The airtime you have on there, really, whoa, at the bottom you're like, oh my fucking god. It's really amazing. But also just the rest of the ride. It's such a shame that the ride is so short because it's such an amazing one. It's really great. The inversions, the turns, the drop, it's really great. It's also very smooth, of course, obviously as it's a B&M coasters, and most of them are really smooth, but really I love this coaster. I even bought a sweater of it because obviously I love dive coasters. I'm not sure why everyone keeps hating dive coasters. Okay, they are short, okay, they are mostly kind of the same, but they're just so much fun. They're just so good. The forces on it are so cool actually. Also a thing which I didn't talk about earlier is the station actually. It's such a beautiful station, way more beautiful than Valraven, for example. It's not as beautiful as Baron 1898, but that's like another level of theming. But the station of this one is pretty cool actually, pretty nicely themed. Also, what I didn't notice the first time was the projection in the station of like the shadow of like a bird figure. Really cool, really well done. But just look at this coaster, beautifully embedded in this amazing looking park. By the way, it looks like this park is already in this park for 20 years maybe, but it's not because it's fairly new. But anyway, great last coaster of the day, and now I'm going back to the hotel, which is right there, so very convenient, and I'm going to enjoy a night rest there. And tomorrow is day 2 of Liseberg here. I'm really going to enjoy my most favorite rides again tomorrow, but that's for another video. See ya!